Welcome back. This is MTG Buddha again. I have got a box of 1991 Studio here today. We're going to be cracking this open looking for a Gem Mint 10 Bagwell rookie card out of this set. If I can get a Gem Mint 10 Bagwell out of this box, they go for upwards of $500 for a Gem Mint 10 Bagwell rookie. So I'm hoping to find a Bagwell rookie that I can send off and get a Gem Mint 10 on. There are a few other cards in this set that if you get a Gem Mint are worth a little bit of money. Like there's a Griffey that at Gem Mint 10 from PSA you can get around $100 for. There's a couple other cards that are in the $50 to $75 range if you find a Gem Mint 10 of them. Raw, these cards are just not worth a lot at all. Yeah, you can pick most of them up for a couple dollars, or for maybe $1. I think the Bagwell usually runs about $2 because it's the only real significant rookie in the set. There's a Frank Thomas that you can Gem Mint and get some decent money out of, around $75 or so. So we'll be looking for those people basically. Is all we're looking for is big names. There's also a Nolan Ryan in this set that you can get. I'm going to set like Hall of Famers and stuff to the side because those are ones that I will potentially send off to get graded. I might wind up speeding through a lot of this and then just showing you the hits, essentially the good players that we're looking for. Tony Gwynn's another one that you can send off and get graded, and get some up. There we go. Second pack in. We got a Bagwell. Let's check this bad boy out. Let's see. Centering is a little bit off. It's a little off on this side over here. It's a little thicker here than it is there. Top to bottom looks okay. Check the back out. The back's again a little off center. We're going to go and sleeve this up and have it ready to send off. If we don't find a better one, we might send it off and kind of hope that we get a 10 out of it. But otherwise it looks pretty good. The edges and everything being packed fresh, it should be in pretty good shape, edges and borders and stuff wise. But we're going to go and set that one over here. But yeah, so we've already found the main card that we're looking for, Griffey Senior. Alright, and we'll see if we can find a Griffey Jr. and maybe Tony Gwynn and a few others like that we're looking for, that we can get Gem Mint 10 zone potentially. The checklist: Surhoff, Madigan, Pendleton, Grace. Alright, so nobody really there. I actually found 4 boxes of this a while back and talked the guy into selling me all 4 boxes for $40. We'll set Johnson over to the side. He might be worth sending off. But yeah, I'll definitely, once I go through and find the players, I'll have to go through and really look at the centering and all that type of stuff and see if I have any that I have a chance of sending out for a Gem Mint 10. But like I say, I have 4 boxes of this that I got for not a lot of money, so we'll see if we can find, if I find one Gem Mint 10 of, there we go, we got a Griffey, but the Griffey has some chipping down here at the bottom. So that little corner down there's got a little bit of whitening, which kind of sucks coming straight out of the pack, because this is, if it was a Gem Mint 10, would be a $100 card. But it's got a little bit of chipping down there at the bottom. Centering is pretty decent. It's maybe a little thin on this right side, but still. Yeah, so we found a Griffey and we found a Bagwell already. If we can find Tony Gwynn and Nolan Ryan and a couple other guys like that, there are some other ones that have some value. But yeah, they're very low pops on these from 91. Not a lot of these have been graded and got Gem Mints. So if you can find one with a Gem Mint, and like I say, I'm hoping with the 4 boxes that I bought like a couple of years ago and just have had setting in storage, I'm hoping I can find a Gem Mint 10, because even one Gem Mint 10 is going to give me a way bigger return on my investment than I started with. So we're going to try to rip through these and see if we can find any more copies potentially of Bagwell. There's a Schmaltz. Of course, he's got a little bit of chipping down there at the bottom too. Let's see. There's a Mattingly. The Mattingly, if it's gem mint, it can actually sell for around $100 as well if you get a gem mint 10 on it. And I think we had a Puckett behind that, and I think he's another one that sells if he's gem mint for in the $70 to $80 range. So there's a few of these that I might have to check out, although I see some whitening here, although that might be something that just slides off. But no, it looks like that's actual damage. So he's not going to be a gem mint, which kind of sucks. Like I say, I keep getting these cards that I see as potential gem mints. This is Dale Murphy. This would be for my PC because I'm a Dale Murphy collector. I did see a Dale Murphy gem mint that sold for around 60. So, but yeah. So we're just trying to find gem mint copies out of these. Evidently, it's really hard because there's not a lot of copies that are gem minted, which is why these go for so much at gem mint. Let's see. There's a Biggio. We'll set him to the side. He's a Hall of Famer, so not worried about Gary Carter. We'll set Jose off to the side. Why not? But yeah, if I go through these and find any of the Hall of Famers or any big names, and I can get them at a gem mint, then they should be able to. Even one of them at a gem mint might pay for all 4 boxes. There's another Glavine. We'll set him over here. There's Tony Gwynn. Let's see. He is one that could get a gem mint. Let's see. That's a little whitening on that bottom corner. We'll have to check that out later. Right now, we're just trying to find what we can find. Not really doing a lot of inspection, but just trying to find the good cards. See if we can get a gem mint. Alright, let's see. Harold Reynolds. Trammell. We got Nolan Ryan there. That's one of the ones that we're looking for. So if we can get a gem mint 10 Nolan Ryan, those go for around $100. Although I think I see a little bit of whitening on the bottom corner there. I mean, he's not wanting to slide into the sleeve very well. There we go. Yeah, I think I see a little bit of whitening on that corner. It might be something that is just a little fluff that'll come off, but I'll have to do a little further inspection on them, of course. Like I said, hopefully out of 4 boxes, I can find a couple of gem mints. But these are evidently pretty notoriously hard to get gem mints on because I guess the way the card stock and all that, there's a lot of chipping that comes. Now this one looks perfect, of course. It's of a Devon White, which isn't going to get me any money, even at a gem mint 10, because I doubt there's any Devon White collector. Okay, so I'm going to skip over opening all the rest of the packs on camera. I'm going to open everything else up off camera and get everything picked out that's good and have everything sleeved up and ready to show you at the very end of this so that you can see what all I got out of the box and hopefully got some good stuff up. Alright, this is MTG Buddha back. I've got the rest of the boxes opened, and these are all the best cards that I pulled out of it. These are all players that are notable players, but like they are not centered at all. These are the first ones I'm going to be sending in to get graded, because these are the ones I think have the best chance of getting a 10. So I've got this Griffey, and they're also the ones I think I'll get fetch the most money if they do get a 10. I've got a Biggio that I'm pretty sure is going to get a 10, and then I've got another Griffey here that I think might get a 10. So I've got 2 Griffies. This Ricky Henderson, I'm going to send in and hope it gets a 10. I think it's just a little bit off. Let's see. I think it's just a little bit off centered maybe. But when I looked at PSA for the 91 studio, there were 0 Ricky Hendersons that were actually graded at a PSA 10. They have 0. Pretty much everybody else that I have here has some cards graded at a 10. But just about every Ricky that I found, I'm going to pull one real quick. Just about every Ricky that I found was super off-centered. I mean, it was really, really bad. I'm not sure. He's probably up. Oh, there's one. Yeah. So like they were super off centered. So like this was probably one of the. This is probably the next best one. There was one that only had like just a hair of pink on this side and a hair of pink at the top. I mean, they were some of the worst off center ones of all the cards out of the set. So this is the one I think might have the best chance of getting a 10. So we're going to send it in and hope that it can get a 10. Because if I have the only one that's a 10, I think I can get a pretty good amount out of that, because there's some Ricky collectors that I'm pretty sure if they see that there's a 10 and it's the only 10, I might get some bidding. And I'm probably going to send all of these when they come back to PWCC to have auctioned off to try to get the best amount that I can out of them. Then these are the two Jeff Bagwells that I found that were the best centered. I pretty much got two of everybody out of each box, so I wound up with 8 copies of Jeff Bagwell. These are the two best centered ones, the two that have the best chance of getting a 10. If you get a 10 on a Jeff Bagwell, it's around $500 for a 10. But like these are some of the other cards that were like, so this Jeff Bagwell is a little chunky on that side. This one's even chunkier on that side. This one, again, even chunkier on that side. Like here's a Griffey that it's not super off-center, but it is a little off-center maybe. This one might, if I got a grader that was in a good mood, I might get a 10 out of that one. This Puckett isn't too bad. Here's a Murphy that's a little bit off-center. Of course, I'm a Murphy collector, but here's another Ricky that is off-center. There's another Biggio. This one had like a ding up the corner. So all of these were ones that were pretty good on the centering and stuff, but there was like maybe like a little dinged corner or maybe just a little bit of white showing somewhere that I was like, I don't know if that's going to get a 10 or not. So these are going to be the first ones that I send in to get to try to get 10s on. If I get 10s on these two, I will be super excited. These two, I really want to get a 10 on, and I really want to get a 10 on this Ricky. Because like I say, if I can have the only Ricky at a 10, I feel like I'll get a really good price out of that. Especially if they advertise it as a pop one. So, and then we've got these other ones. The Griffey ones usually go for about 100 or so in a 10. And there's only about 20 or so of these in a 10. I think the Biggio, I think he's in here because I think there was only like, I think it was single digits that there were 10s of him. So, and he's a Hall of Famer too, along with Bagwell. I figured since I'm sending Bagwell, the two of them were synonymous for so long that I'd send him in as well. But so those are the ones I'm sending in first. These are the other ones that I have that I think might get 10s. And so I've got them already ready to go when I actually decide to send them. But I want to send these first because they're the ones worth the most value probably. Like I say, the Biggio, I could probably get a little more value maybe out of the bonds. But I think that Biggio is actually centered slightly better. These McGuires are actually pretty good. Both of these two turned out really centered, it seemed like. So I feel like these could probably get 10s. But yeah, so I have, let's see, 2 Barry Bonds that I think can get 10s on. I have this George Brett that might get a 10. I figured I'd throw a Hershiser in. I think it was in single digits on the 10s on him as well. There's a Tony Gwynn, another Biggio. There were 0. I think there were 0 or 1 Jim Abbott's. And I decided, you know what, we'll throw one of him in there as well. I remember him pretty fondly when I was younger. Here's a Mattingly that looked pretty centered up, and then of course these 2 McGuires. So these are the ones I feel like have the best chance of getting a 10. So out of 4 boxes, we're talking 48 packs a box with 10 cards per pack. So 480 cards in each box. And these are the cards that are possible 10s. That's it. I mean, there's a couple more that are questionable, but like some of these, like this one's it's too chunky on this side. This one's not too bad, but it's got a little bit of white up in the corner there, and I'm afraid it wouldn't get a 10. This one's off-centered. It's got too small on this side. This one's centered up pretty good, but like I think there was somewhere on this one that it had like a little bit of white showing on the border. Same thing with this. It was centered up pretty good, but there was some white on the border. Yeah, this set with the pink border. Everybody talks about black borders. This pink border is really hard, and their quality control was really bad. And another thing is, you also on the back, like you got to get the centering on the back as well. And that was a thing that cut down a lot of these. There were some of them in this stack here that were pretty close on the front. Like, let's see, this Griffey looks pretty decent on the front, but when you flip it over, it just looks a little bit off-centered. Like it's a little bit bigger on this side, but there were some that were like that where it was just the backs are what hurt it. I feel like these are the ones that have the best chance. These are the ones that look the most centered on front and on back and had the best edges and surface. The surface was actually held up pretty good on all these. The surface seemed okay. But like it was just the edges. That pink showed up the white a lot. And then also, like I say, the centering. The centering was the roughest part. Like I say, this is the only Ricky that's even close to being a 10. And I feel like it might be just a little too chunky on this side. But if it comes out as a 10, then I'll have the only 10. So I figured it was worth sending in. But like I say, this is the only one that even had any chance whatsoever of getting a 10. So I figured I'd send it. It's going to be in the first batch. And once I get them in, I'll have them in one of my PSA reveals at some point. But hopefully this kind of gives you an idea about 91 Studio if you find some boxes or something. If you can find them for about $10, which is what I paid per box for these, I'd say grab them, crack them, see if you can find any cards in it that are worth getting sent to PSA. Because like I say, if you do happen to hit a Bagwell, it's about a $500 card. The Grippies are around 100. The Ryans are around 100. And then there's several other cards that are in the $50 to $80 range. Like I think Biggio is around 40 or 50. He's not real high, but I kind of wanted to send him in because I was always a Biggio fan. And you know, him and Bagwell just go hand in hand, it seems like. So I decided to send him in as well. And of course, everybody loves Griffey. So, but yeah, there are some other cards in the set that you can get. If you get a 10 on it, you can get 50, 60 bucks. And if you spend $10 on the box and you send in some cards and you get some 10s on some things, then you can make your money back and make a little bit of profit. So I'd say if you find a 91 Studio box for 10 bucks, you might be okay, but the centering is really bad in that set, and the pink edges show up really bad. Show up a lot of white really easy. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of idea about the 91 Studio set. I haven't really seen a lot of videos about 91 Studio. Say it's not a super popular set, but hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea about what to look for in that set. And like I said, once I get the PSA submissions in and get those back, I'll be doing PSA reveals. I'm also going to be sending some stuff to SGC, and then we'll be trying out a new company that I keep seeing on Facebook called Degree, that I've seen a lot of trading card people send stuff into for like Pokemon and things like that. But I'm going to send in some sports cards. So far I've picked out 4 cards that I'm going to send. Things from my personal collection that I would never sell. I just want to get them encapsulated and see how that company does. So I've got this Alexa Bliss out of 99 that I'm going to send them. I've got a couple Dale Murphy cards that I'm going to send them because I will never sell my Dale Murphy cards. And then, like I say, Alexa Bliss is one I will never sell. So I'll probably find one more card. They have a special for 5 cards for $50 for your first order. So I'm going to try them out. And then they do bulk submissions after that for $10 for 10 cards or more. So I'm going to try this other company out and see how they do. And once I find the 5th card, I'll do a video on that and then send them in. I'll do a video showing what I sent in and showing how they come back and all that stuff. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully this lets you know a little bit more about 91 Studio. If you like this video, subscribe, come back for more. I'll be opening more older stuff, and I'm also going to be opening newer stuff. I've got some Topps 24 coming in, and I'll be opening that as soon as I get them in. Thanks. Have a good day.